This presentation of the USAFL is brought to you by Tasmanian. Quietly pursue the extraordinary. Cooper's. Australian made and owned. Cooper's Beer. Aussie Sports USA, the official apparel provider of the USAFL. Odin Mortgage and Tax, Australian mortgages and taxation for expats and overseas residents. CyberSolve IQ, the inaugural cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. Two Hands Restaurant, fueling your lifestyle. Watch AFL, stream every match overseas. Brown Brothers, family winemakers since 1889. HBC Event Services, Premier Sports Medicine, and the members of the USAFL.
Back here at the Western Sports Park in beautiful Farmington, Utah, on a beautiful, if not slightly hot day here on this June 29th, as we get set for the second half, the third quarter of this women's championship game at the Western Regionals, as the Golden Gate Iron Maidens trail the Minnesota Freeze 18-2. Brian Barish here with you. Glad to have your company alongside our crew, getting set to bring you the rest of today's action. We are underway as the umpire steps forward, trusses the ball to the heavens, and we are underway in the third quarter. As a little bit of kung fu fighting, at least in terms of the football there, as Ed swung and missed. Going after to get it is Georgiadis, and then Burroughs Chang stabs this one forward. Going after it is Ed. Little handball out the back, pops in the air. Burroughs Chang is in there, but there is Blecker to bump her finger into it, and then here is Gaillard, who goes out to the side. Digging in after is Hildenbrand, who's going to win that race. How queenly will she pick it up? Very queenly. Gets away from two players as she shows Ugalde a clean set of heels, and then the ball was taken down, and it will be a free kick going the way of Golden Gate. The Maidens, they've had an up and down over the years at this tournament. We'll get into that in a minute, as one of the Orange County women. We mentioned, of course, keep mentioning that there are a number of Orange County players from the Giants. As Cindy Tan, one of them, sends that one in, and that one gets marked in front. Or rather, it was, nope, it is going to be a ball up. It looked like it was marked in front, but it wasn't. The ball gets knocked down, picked up by Burroughs Chang, who gets it out of there. Orange County. A number of these players will remember the LA Dragons for a time before going cross-county. And Eileen Yoon started her career with Sacramento, has done a fantastic job at the national level. Ball goes out to the far side. Big bump thrown in there on Houston by Georgiadis, and a nice mark by Paige Thel. That's what Thel is used for. And, no, thought there might have been a 50-meter penalty. And it goes up to the far side, and I think it was. I think the 50 was paid. We're going to see what happened here. I believe that's exactly what happened, as one of the Iron Maidens infringed on the mark. So when a free kick or a mark is taken, you cannot go over the mark until the kicking team has a chance to play on, and that's exactly what happened. And so they got to move the ball 50 meters up the field. 18-2, Minnesota still leads. And the Freeze, ball gets tied up in the air, ball gets knocked forward. It'll be interesting to see the Odin Mortgage, Odin, of course, one of our many sponsors who sponsor the top polls, the coaches polls. You'll see if Golden Gate, who is currently ranked number 1, and Minnesota is currently ranked 2. That may change after this. But here is Georgiadis, who sends this one inside the 50-meter arc, drops in front of Rojas, bounces free. There is Sawyer, who's in after it as well. The other, she shoves over her opponent. It's going to get picked up, getting taken down there as Sawyer. Here is Ed, who bats it out the side. Rojas strong arms her way through, and it goes out to the far side where it's going to get picked up and cleared out by the Maidens. It's going to come all the way out to Georgiadis. Georgiadis trying to get away from Powell. Powell takes her down, and it's high contact. It'll be a free kick to Georgiadis. Georgie sends this one across. Now marked by Saigola, who had it bounce right in front of her. Going to get cleared out by Gaillard. Only as far as 23, who sends this one forward, but it's going to be marked by Fury as Belle Ugaldi, who is a member of that Minnesota team who actually was for both. She ended Denver's long win streak back in 2015 and was part of the team that ended the win streak for the Maidens last October. That one she was bumped was Thel, and that was an ugly kick as it skitters across like a cockroach on the bathroom floor. And then getting taken down from behind, and it will be a free kick and to Blecker as Ugaldi again. This is out to the near side, coming out and off the chest of Ewell, or rather that was Sten, as the ball comes down and holding the ball. Great tackle thrown in there by Gaillard. Still 18-2, and she left the mark too early. And you could hear umpire Steve Arnott, who is also one of the best in the business, one of our veteran umpires, telling Gaillard she needed to get back on the mark. Sending this one in. Bounces away from Boyle. Now going to pick that one up again is Atkins, who gets it away. Cleared out the back by the Freeze. Looking off the top. Here goes Burrows-Chang going in against Houston. Burrows-Chang able to get through it. Handballs it back by McKenzie. Setting this one inside the 50-meter arc. Kicking towards the Wasatch side. As the ball bounces and skips and hops and does it all its flibbity-gibbet things. And then getting knocked down. That was Olaf in there, the Icelandic player for Minnesota. And then picking that one up and trying to go across the face. Picking that one up was Hildenbrand. She got knocked free. There goes Georgiadis, who took her player down high, and it's a free kick. Just past the halfway point, third quarter. Brian Barish here with you at the Western Sports Park in Farmington, Utah. Minnesota leads by 16 points, trying to wrap up another regional championship. It would be their sixth in 5 years. Boy, that new rule really makes a difference. As the ball up on the far side now. Free kick upcoming. Georgiadis is on the mark. Sent in by Mashakis, and that one is off to the side. Kept in play by Corey Daling. Good hustle there, and usually that's ill-advised because you'd rather concede the behind, especially when you're up by 16 points, but thankfully for her, it just went into the safety of the boundary line. Now the ball comes back in the play once again. Going to get knocked backwards. Again looking for Sten. Going to get picked this one up. There is Eliason trying to get free. Now trying to get this one out once again, and it's a free kick going the other way. Minnesota will have it in their back left-hand pocket. It is Lindsay Eliason. Eliason waits, kicks. Sending this one down the left field, down the left side. Over to get it is Atkins once again for Minnesota. Getting this one free. Clangs off one defender. Saigola is there. Look to go back. Got some eventual help from Georgiadis. Here is Eliason. Look at them move the football, but they do a great job to the Maidens of getting rid of it. There is Powell as she gets to the way. Getting tangled up was Atkins and McKenzie, and in the end of that, it's sent forward inside 50. Good job by Olaf to clear her defender out. Soccered off the ground. Knocked free by Thel. Thel's able to get it away and just got a right toe to it. That will bounce out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. With just under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, Minnesota on the Watch AFL scoreboard leads 3 straight to 2 behinds. 16 points separates the sides. Golden Gate, we mentioned their struggles at times in the Western Regionals. They won in 2015, and it wasn't until 4 years later that they had finally done it again in 2019 when they won in Salem, Oregon. Here they come as that one is Fury, sending that one into the middle of the ground. Now it's going to get pumped inside the 50-meter arc. Out of the reach of Tan, who is there. Cleared out by Thel. Going to roll across. Skitter across. Now kick this one on again is Eliason. Here is Burrows-Chang trying to go after it. That one is skittered forward again. Over to get it is Cordoba, who dropped the pill. Ed is there to clean it up, but she was dispossessed. Going to get picked up again by Cordoba, who was run into by Eliason, but without prior opportunity. And umpire Darren Henderson orders a ball up with less than 2 to go here in the third. 3 straight plays 2 behinds. Minnesota, who won the Central Regionals, won the Super Regionals last year, defeating New York, Texas, and Denver in in the regionals 2 years ago, or last year rather, and then 2 years ago splitting with Philadelphia and Columbus to take out the Eastern regionals in what was a combined competition. Ball is taken down and picked up, and this is Kira McGuire, another Irish woman, plays for Orange County. Georgiadis gets it forward for Sten. Lindsay Sten gets it forward again. Over on the intense side of the field because there are a lot of people intense and it all kind of blends together. Houston puts her hand up and says, I'll go for it. I'll take this ball up, and she'll do so against Lauren Burrows-Chang. That's been a good battle so far. Burrows-Chang gets the ball down to Fury, who is there to steal it away. Going to get played out in the middle of the ground. Goes to center of the ball, and it's going to be taken by Blecker, who acts the back pedal. Now with a undercut handball. Going to go and pick this one up, and then getting taken down. Maybe some high contact against Hillenbrand by Thel. Not a call, as this one bounds out in the cow corner. Now to a one-on-one contest. Winning the race is Liz Ed. Ed just got her right foot to it and curls it inside, but it's going to bop in front of Martin, who's there to clear with less than 20 seconds to go. Over to get it now again. Here is Powell. Powell forced Eliason to get rid of it. Burrows-Chang sends this one in front. They're going to have to really, really try and squeeze this one out in a hurry. Guyar is there to clear, and that'll do it. Three-quarter time here in Minnesota, in Utah and Minnesota, in a scoreless third quarter, have managed to keep Golden Gate from sniffing the goals. At the end of 30 minutes of play, it's the Minnesota Freeze 3 straight 18, Golden Gate 2 behinds. We'll take one last break in this one and return for the final 10-minute stanza. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a rip snorter. You're watching the 2024 USAFL Western Regional Championships from Farmington, Utah, here on USAFL.com. Fourth quarter underway here in the Western Regionals. Can Minnesota hang on and bring home another regional championship, or will it be stolen once again at the death by Golden Gate, who have kicked the winning goal in the last 5 minutes of both of their games? We'll find out in the next 10 minutes. We're underway once again, and Minnesota now kicking to the left of screen towards the Wasatch end. That one is marked nicely by McKenzie, although I'm not sure what happened there, but in fact they'll play on. She made the catch in front of Ed. Handballs it on to Fury. Fury throws that one onto the left. And a one-on-one contest. Bounces up high over Tan, and Daling is there to get it the heck out of there. Off the chest of McKenzie. Into the hands of Powell, who sends this one inside the 50-meter arc. It bounces away nicely. Cleared out the back, but it's picked off, and picked off by Park, I believe. This is Alice Park. Alice Park, or check that. That's Anna Park. Anna Park sends this one forward. Had a good game in game one. Picked up in front, handballs away. Daling is there, tried to sock it along to herself. Fury is trying to get around her, or Hillebrand is anyway. Sten was turned sideways, or rather that was Olaf who was turned sideways, and then that one is picked out to the near side. And this one jumps in front and goes out of bounds. We talked about the gridiron players. Olaf Indrida's daughter, who was born in Iceland, and we are honoring the patronymic last name custom and just calling her Olaf, as this one is spun back into play as this one bounces in front. And going to pick that one up is Fury. Fury runs 14.5 meters, throws the ball onto the right. It drops down in front. Going to get picked up. Here as a handball it into the middle. Thel is there to clear it out. Good tackle in there by McKenzie, who picked it up. She got legged, and the ball comes out, and the umpire crosses himself, and we'll have a ball up. But a dangerous position by Minnesota, or by San Francisco. Golden Gate will try again as they trail by 16 points. They need a goal, and then they need the next one, and not a lot of time to do it. Cleared out by Burrows-Chang, but it was smothered. Coming out of nowhere was Sten, and she's a little second best after that one, and Dowling took the ball, and we'll have a ball up once again. The Freeze at the national level had always finished either third or fourth since they started playing at nationals on their own, as McKenzie kicks out one out on the full free kick Minnesota. They had finished either third or fourth, and they had come, nope, that's going to be a behind, beg your pardon. So behind for Golden Gate, it's their third. Saw the arm up initially, so 3 behinds plays 3 goals. It's 18-3, 15 points of difference. They had finished third or fourth. They had lost in the semifinals, in fact, a couple of close semifinals to Golden Gate, then known as San Francisco Iron Maidens in 2018. They got blown out in 2019, and then finally made it to the final in 2022. Out to the far side now, going after the pick as Sten was taken down, and she is hurt after being taken down from behind by, I want to say it was it may have been Neve Morris, I'm not sure, one of the twos there. But Sten was slow to get up. And it will be a free kick to Karina Boyle. So Boyle at, at a strange angle. We're going to look for a centering ball. She comes around on her right, puts this one high in the air. Pack form, slap forward. It comes all the way out. Picking that one up again is McKenzie, who turns inside. That one is deflected. It bounds away. A sharp off break. Soccered the heck out of there by Kaya Saigula. Now it's going to bounce free. Going to get picked up on a hand. Almost snagging that one one-handed by was Powell. And now going back the other way. Turning around is Fury. She goes right. She goes left. Dancing, romancing, and sends this one inside towards the pocket. And that goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Now a lot of pressure being put on by the Maidens and not a lot of time to do it with 5.5 minutes to go in this tournament for the women's championship. Both teams came in at 2-0. Minnesota looking to stay undefeated on this season as they came in with wins in both games of the Super Regionals. They would be the first team to do it. Still plenty of time, but they've got to kick them, and they got to kick them in a hurry. Here is Powell. Powell's going to handball it off for Gaillard. Gaillard over now to Powell. Big smother in there, and the ball will get picked up. Here is Gaillard once again. Centering ball for Cordoba, who takes the mark in front of the late arriving Ed. Now here's Cordoba sending that one in front. Going to be cleared out by Thel. Sending this one up high. Coming over to a nice mark by Blecker, who was taken and then absolutely side-saddled. And I don't think she saw that coming, and she has not moved. Now she is finally getting up. That looked kind of scary, but thankfully Blecker is okay. I don't know if I don't think there was any head contact. I think that was definitely in the side. But it was a courageous mark nonetheless. Blecker goes back, sends this one in. Again, snagged in this time by Cordoba. Now, Cordoba's got to take this pretty quickly. They don't have a whole lot of time for her to go and set up. She's got to go into her quick motion. Going to be from about 50 meters out. She strides forward, kicks this one on the way, and it's marked again. And it's Gaillard. Gaillard sends this one towards the sticks. In front of everybody, knocked through. Minnesota trying to keep it in front, and the umpire says, give that to me. And time ebbs away a little bit more with 4 minutes to go. Can Minnesota win their another regionals? And they won in 2016 as a split team with Portland. They won the Western Regionals. Paige Thel was on the team in 2018. They look out in front. Going to pick that one up from the side was Park, and there was Sten to kind of shove it over the line and concede happily another behind for the Freeze. 4 behinds plays 18. Minnesota has not scored all half, and they haven't really needed to. Can they blank the Iron Maidens here? That's what they did in 2016. They won 12-3 that final game that gave them the regional championship. Kat Hogg was the coach of the split squad that day. That one is handled out by Burroughs Chang, turned over to Powell, who sends this one inboard. Going to get dropped by Eliason, but she stayed with it magnificently. Fury takes her down. What a great passage of play. And it was called, so it will be Fury, but they got to hurry. 2.5 to go. Minnesota looking for another regional championship. 2019, the Central Regionals. 2022 at Eastern Regionals. And you include the sub-regionals as well that they won in Madison, and they will have won 19, 21, 22, 23, and then twice forward. They'll have won 6 regional championships in 5 years. They handball it around, but Golden Gate is not giving up. Mushakis sends this one in. Now everybody goes down and gets funky, and we have another ball up dead in front. Less than 2 minutes to go. And you'd have to think that when the next poll comes out in the middle of July that Minnesota will top it. It'll be perhaps a little bit cooler in Austin, and they won't have had to play 3 games in 5 hours. But Minnesota, I think if this shows anything, is a chance now for Golden Gate. Minnesota is showing that all of that work that they've done in the offseason in the gym is paying off in spades. Cordoba catches it, not a mark. Has to swing around on a sixpence and kicks an ugly duckling out in front. McKenzie tries with her right foot, but it's pawed down by Thel, who gets it out of there. A little more than a minute to go. Minute and 10 we have unofficially. Now a chance up on the far side, and it's going to be taken by Gaillard, and it's going to be a ball up. Less than a minute to go now. Minnesota looking at another regional title, and they would be the first team to win 2 regional titles in the same season. Again, it's not often that teams cross over, with Minnesota, 1, being kind of in the middle of the country, and 2, with a number of their players trying to make the national team and trying to put in the prerequisite work and getting the selectors as much of a view of their playing time in the flesh. They haven't just come to show that off. They've come for glory, and they're going to earn it. Ball goes in the middle after a great tackle on Cordoba. There is Eliason. What if she wins again? She won Best and Fairest 2 weeks ago. She may do it again. Or she won the MVP. She may win Best and Fairest today. Saigula, who won Best and Fairest last weekend, is generally in the 2 weekends ago. She's in the conversation. A nice another calming mark by Thel. Not much time left. We should hear the horn any minute. And there it is. And the Minnesota Freeze are your 2024 USAFL Women's Division champions. They have done it in the Western region. They have done it with a decisive victory over the Golden Gate Iron Maidens, the defending regional champions, by 14 points. The final score, the Minnesota Freeze, 3 goals straight, 18. The Golden Gate Iron Maidens, 4 behinds, halves off to both teams on what has been, in difficult conditions, a very tight and a very, very good scrappy game and a very well-played game by both teams. The Iron Maidens, well, this is only the second time that they've lost in a regional tournament going back to 2019, or in a sanctioned tournament since 2018. But they may very well have their revenge in October when we go to Austin for the national championships. But on this day, it's the Minnesota Freeze. They were champions of the Central Division in the Central Region in 2019 in Denver. They won in Madison the sub-regionals in 2021. Then in 2022, they came to Philly as a split squad with Philly and Columbus and took out the title there. 2023, they vanquished a 4-team field at the Super Regionals 2 weeks ago. They defeated 3 teams to take out the Super Regionals, and here they are, the Western Regional champions. Congratulations to Mark Fisher and his team. Coming up next on this field, we'll have the 5th place game as we switch to the men's division, as we have the 5th place game between the San Diego Lions and the Arizona Hawks as they take on the Wasatch War Goals. And don't forget, by the way, we have the grand final coming up as the Golden Gate Roos will take on the San Diego Lions, will take on the Sacramento Suns in the men's grand final. We'll be right back, however, for San Diego and Wasatch when we return. And remember, join us on USAFL.com for everything up to date, on Facebook at facebook.com/USAFL, Twitter and Instagram at USAFL1997. Now, we will step aside and come right back. This is the 2024 USAFL Western Regional Championships, and you're watching it here on USAFL.com.